Welcome back to the Paint Bay. This is Pretzel Bear. Today we're going to do something slightly different. See in the background here, I've been working on more of the mechs for the Storm Warden's command. And these paint jobs are mostly done. Might do a little bit of touch-up. But the next thing, as we get dogs in the background, welcome to our studio. It happens. Your studio is your living room, and I don't mind. But these are basically ready for a dark wash. And I've had some people asking how to do a dark wash. And while I have had my trusty dark wash, this is what I was using on Car Wars cars and the Pretzel Bears regulars. This mason jar came from Slim Chickens. So if you like tasty desserts and you have a Slim Chickens near you, go get yourself a cheesecake dessert of some form or a brownie dessert of some form, and you get a mason jar of it. My wife, however, being ever thoughtful, bought me this one from Walmart. I think all brand, White Health, which is why we're going to use this for our dark wash. The process here is going to be using the Pro Acryl wash medium, Glaze and Wash Medium. The way this works is 4 parts Glaze and Wash Medium, 4 parts water. I'll have some ultra filter water that goes through our house filter and then through our reverse osmosis filter. So we'll be using that. This is a 120 milliliter bottle of medium. So we use 120 milliliters of water, 120 milliliters of medium, and we are going to take and start by showing you something I mentioned in the previous video. To get the base color for the Storm Wardens, actually for all of the non-metallic colors in the Storm Wardens, I've been mixing the pigment 50-50 with metallic medium. So we're going to do both steps today. We're going to mix blue, black, and metallic medium because I want my wash to be the base coat color, but to settle in a little deeper. So what it'll do is it'll really make the lines pop anywhere where I've made a mistake and gotten paint in grooves that I want to be that base coat color. And then it will also use that base coat color on the weapons. This is an experiment, big experiment. And you guys are going to see it as I do it. But the first steps are I take a spare Pro Acryl bottle. I have measured and made a mark on my bottle so I know the 50-50 mark. And I am going to open black. It's already open. No, the open is in the. That doesn't. That would have been fun to try to pour out. And I'm just going to use the. The nice thing about the Pro Acryl spare paint bottles is they already come with a shaker bead in them. And though I don't necessarily need a shaker bead in the wash, I don't think it's a bad thing to add. So mark that is approximately 50. Well, this one did what I expected on the other one. Just gonna go to 5 and So I have bottles of paint. I'm going to be using a lot of this color. I'm even going to make a second. Get bubbles in the bottles, just pop them. That happens. It's just liquids. In this case, there's going to be more in the bottle. Set it aside. Off my hands. You know, reasonably. A moment. I'm also going to use my vortex stirrer on it later. With the amount that I put in the first bottle, it should be right at the 30 milliliters I need. This can be used for whatever purpose down the road. More mini painting, more wash creation, whatever. You can hear the shaker balls, and I'm just doing this thing. And since I get bored of shaking, I'm going to use my vortex mixer off camera just for a minute. I like making sure that this is somewhat blended. It's not going to really matter because it's going to go straight into our big bottle in a minute. But I like to start with a little bit of mix there. Okay. So that's step one. Step two, acquire the jar. Either, a jar from a department store or go get yourself a good dessert. Enjoy the dessert, wash the bottle, and use it. Either way. Your mileage may vary. Our line here, 120 milliliter mark, just under the neck. That's why I went up to the neck on this one, so I could get that extra 10 milliliters. Okay. Throw in our medium. And the medium even came with a mixing bead. You heard that click in there. Water. Found these squirt bottles on Amazon. I thought they were smaller than they were, but it is great for water, and my hobby desk, and they were relatively cheap, even for the pack that I bought. About here, going further. So I try to be moderately scientific about this. But in the end, there is a little bit of wiggle room. And you can adjust things on the fly. So I'm not trying to be super precise, I'm just trying to be close. Approximate is a very good word, and I make use of it regularly. I can tell already that I'm going to want a double batch of this, which I will be able to do. I just might have to get more product, but that's fine. Because, again, experiment. So before I fill this jar up all the way, I want to make sure this works. And I'm going to have the benefit of multiple mixing bottles. Since I'm trying to be thorough, just a little more water. It's like a spaghetti sauce bottle, and try to get a little more out of it. What? I want to get close to about 30 ounces of pigment. In this case, that pigment has metal mixed in with it. So we're gonna my original wash, I just started with my ultra filtered water and then just added pigments, just added paints. And I used various colors that I was using on the models, various colors I had laying around, and it was all guesswork. I really don't know what thickness I was going for. This time, I have a formula from the manufacturer. So we're trying that out. We're going to see how it works. That gives us a wash. It's not just a wash, it's a blue-black wash, a metallic blue-black wash. So I'm going to let this sit for a few because, as you just saw, opening it right away will cause drips that I don't want. I want to preserve the wash as much as I can. So here in a few minutes, we will come back and we will start working on washing a mini, see how it comes out. Okay, so as you can see, we have our wash. I've mixed it several times. It should be nice and blended. I have a gloss-coated Battlemaster. I've been seeing things about a gloss coat making the wash go better. So we're going to try it. Dip. Now, there are people who don't understand why I do that, and that's fine. But it works for me. Again, find your methods, your procedures. That's what we do. Here. I have that. I found these tools on Hobbyist Haven that are supposed to allow me to clean up the surfaces I want to clean up. I should have found gloves. I didn't. It's my fault. They work a lot like makeup sponges, they say. You're supposed to be able to clean it up a little bit. Let's see how well they work compared to what my makeup sponges have been doing. Not bad. So I'm just going through here and cleaning out some of the surfaces that I don't want to wash in. These pockets are painted. Only some in there, but not much. These are supposed to go over the top and do cleanup, and that actually worked. I don't know if you can see it, but it left that darkness in the groove. Okay, so as a test, I'm actually kind of pleased. And if I decide these nibs don't last long enough, I can just use makeup sponges on them and use the wands. Like the wand concept. It's a little here, and I'll leave that in it. Working a lot like makeup sponges. I don't mind leaving some of this on. Because, I mean, the dirty look is a good thing on time-worn battle mechs. Cockpit glass, since I did the blended paint method, I want to leave pretty clean. A smudge or two is not bad. That's just a little dirt. Oh, if the dark color ends up in a few spots that doesn't necessarily have been dented in, it just looks like worn off paint in the underneath layer. You know, showing that underneath layer, which I kind of like. You can see here, we're just trying to go over it a little bit. And then we'll have to let it sit for a bit. So, because my wash wasn't quite deep enough, a little more on the legs. We'll brush the flame around those lower legs and feet a little bit. And then clean them up a little bit. Because I give this wash a chance to work it out. I like to brush on this. We'll see how this goes. Now that I will have tried both a dip and brush. Moving this paint around, taking some off. Trying not to cover up all of the color we had before. Enhance that base coat. A little bit of grime. A little bit of a worn look. A little bit. Actually, I'm pleased with this. I think, boys and girls, I have enough. So, I might do the rest of these units off camera, but I will post pictures. If you found this YouTube, you probably know where to find me on Facebook or any of the socials, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever. If you don't, just post a comment on the picture and I'll give you a link to whichever app. But I am Pretzel Bear everywhere. And you can see the pictures when they're all done. But I'll go back and do the weapons. And then give it a ultra matte or matte varnish. Dull it up a little bit. Get rid of that gloss look. I think we have a washed mech. All right. Yeah, I'll do the rest of these units off camera, but I will be posting pictures. And you have seen my process beginning to end. So thank you for tuning in. I hope this helps. Ask any questions you've got. We'll, as a community, try to answer them. And I hope you learned a little something today. Take care, and we'll see you next time here in the Inner Sphere Print Day. This is Pretzel Bear signing off.